here you see this is the ghee after my 15-minute timer has already gone off, and I did turn it way down because I'd rather be safe than sorry. And so you'll see that there are milk solids that have come to the top, and then if you tip the pan this way, you may notice some milk solids that have gone to the bottom as well. And the sound, when you're trying to figure out if your ghee is done, the sound is important, and it'll just become more of a calm boil when it's ready, and it will start to smell like popcorn butter. So it's good to even stick your face kind of down in close to the pan and give it a good smell to see if you're getting that smell. The moment your ghee has turned brown, unfortunately you have burned it. So when you're making ghee, it's something that you'll want to do when you don't have a lot of distractions and when you can be very present and just watch what's going on. It's you can almost treat it like a ghee making meditation, where you're just bringing a lot of mindfulness to what's going on. When you start to sense that the ghee is almost done, and again, you don't want to do this when it is already done. Do it just before you sense that it's getting close. You take your spoon that you have and skim off the fats and remove them into a separate container. The fats will be discarded. Some people feed them to their pets, but that is a really high amount of dairy fat to be feeding even to your pets. And I have a very large cat, those of you who know Mackie, and he does not need milk fats. So I have my container here, and I'm just going to make a little reservoir with the cheesecloth. And now this sound that it's making right now is just primo. This is done just right. I'm very relieved that this burner here will make ghee making possible. So I'm removing this from the heat now, and I'm going to pass the ghee through the cheesecloth. If you don't make a reservoir with the cheesecloth, the ghee can just spill out over the sides and get wasted. And this looks like gold. It feels just as precious as gold. And after spending $6+ on a pound of the butter, it is gold. So wasting it would be a pity. And voila, beautiful, beautiful ghee. A couple more things. I was saying that ghee is a carrier, so it carries herbs and nutrients from your food into the cytoplasm in the cell, which is the fluid that's inside the cell. Many of our nutrients can just hang out in the intercellular fluid, which is not inside of our cells. So it's a wonderful carrier. 1 or 2 teaspoons first thing in the morning, followed immediately with hot water, can promptly produce a bowel movement. It will also warm the body quickly. 2 spoonfuls of ghee in warm, non-homogenized milk before bedtime is soothing to the nerves and lubricates the intestines and facilitates a bowel movement in the morning. Ghee is excellent for cooking and sautéing or stir frying. It has a pretty high flash point, although when I'm cooking something that requires a very high flash point, I use coconut oil or sunflower oil. It's excellent as a gargle to improve the health of your teeth and gums. It can be used as a bath oil. It is excellent for scrapes, scratches, and burns. It's an exquisite, I already mentioned this, facial moisturizer, and I like to use it underneath my eyes. In India, it is said that a few drops of ghee are placed in the nostrils and then that will stop a nosebleed. I've never tried it for that, but I've done it for all of these other purposes. Here's something fun, and my teacher, Pat Layton, recommended preparing ghee on the actual full moon, but this source says the waxing fortnights of the moon. So this counts, the moon is waxing right now, and that way the ghee will have the mothering and nurturing aspects of the moon infused in it. And the making of ghee, I completely agree with this, is a very beautiful and peaceful experience. The sound of softly boiling butter, the pouring of the thick golden liquid into bottles, the wonderful smell permeates the space, and it truly is wonderful. The first time I made ghee, I kept smelling it, and then I actually set it by my bedside table to sleep next to it because I thought it was so beautiful. This was the cheesecloth that I used to strain the milk solids out of the ghee, and I like to use this, keep it, or just take this little portion into the bathroom, and before I shower, I will just put this all over my body as a moisturizer, and then you can shower afterward. If you just put it on and then had your clothes on, it will, make your clothes get oily. So, and you can also, again, use it cosmetically so that doesn't go to waste. Wait until your ghee has cooled to put the lid on it. If you put the lid on it while it's cooling, then it will form condensation and your ghee won't last as long. And when you're scooping your ghee out, make sure that your spoon is dry, and do not store your ghee in the refrigerator because that will cause condensation as well. And it will stay good for, usually I get up to a month on my countertop, and if it truly stays dry unopened, ghee can last for very, very long in your cupboard. So just make sure that this stays dry. You let this cool entirely before you put the lid on. And in the summertime, it will stay in a semi-liquid state at ambient temperature. But then in the winter time, this is going to turn into a solid substance as it cools. So it'll be something that you scoop out, almost like coconut oil, once it cools, depending on the season. So if I got the courage to do it on this new stovetop that I'm unaccustomed to, you can too. And I can't wait to hear about your ghee making experiences and email me for the instructions and education. I'm happy to share this information with all of you. Namaste. If you would like me to create a customized Radiant Living detox and rejuvenation program for you, please email or call to schedule an appointment. My email address is patricia.wickman@gmail.com and my phone number is 715-529-3061. Please visit the Radiant Living website at www.rlyaa.com for more information and pricing.